Good morning, Flosstube. I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and it is Sunday, October 6th, 2019. I honestly thought I was going to take my kids to the pumpkin patch this morning because the sun is shining and it is a weekend and my husband's at work. And then late last night I decided, no, I'll wait till next weekend to do that, and I'll get a bright and early start this morning and film a new Flosstube video and work on some tutorials, and I was just going to get everything done. I slept until 8:30, and then I came out and was going to do some stitching, and I have been curled up in the corner of the couch for like the past 4 hours watching Flosstube videos, and it has been the most awesome morning ever. I watched all 3 videos on Stitch Goes My Heart. Stephanie, who I met up, or had previously met up at Acorns Threads, but didn't realize she had a channel, and caught up on some friends whose stuff I haven't been able to watch lately, and I just had fun. I am stitching on Crocus and Windowsill. It is a Riolas kit, and I didn't bring the picture over here. It's going to be a window and potted plants, and I don't remember what's over here because I'm trying to focus on this little corner over here. And I used to, when I did full coverage, I was better at sticking in the corner I was in until I filled in all the stitches that needed to be stitched. On All Is Calm and A Little Girl's Fancy, I have let myself wander farther than I should. So I'm trying to go back to old habits and see if that works better. And I am just loving this. It's my favorite stitchy thing in the world right this second. That will change in 10 minutes, but right this second it's Crocus on Windowsill. I don't know what has been going, well, I know what has been going on. I have really lost the plot of my stitching the past couple months. This is my project tracker for September. That's kind of, I don't know what word I would use to describe that. This is a more typical month of the project tracker. So there's been a lot going on, and it honestly takes a lot for me to go, okay, there's no time for stitching today, but it's been that way, and it has been that way for a long time, and I don't like it. And I thought, oh, I've lost it. Losing things is the theme of what I'm doing. I finished the socks. I hate these socks. I'm going to fold these socks up and tuck them in a drawer, and at some point in the distant future, my toes will be cold and I will need a pair of socks. And I will pull these out without remembering that it took me so ridiculously long to knit them, and they were such a ridiculous hassle. I've used this yarn, the needles, the lace pattern. Nothing on these socks should have made them a challenge. But they were miserable to knit. And they're done. And I thought about doing a giveaway and foisting them off on someone else, but these socks have some bad juju, and I'm not going to do that to any of you guys. A week or so ago, I got so sick of the socks, I decided I need to cast on a new shawl. And I have been, it's bunched up on the needles, and it won't show, but just look how much of it there is. This is all the yarn I have left, which if you're a knitter, you'll know that is not much worsted weight yarn to have to get through, and I won't get through all of it because I'm only knitting to the end of the dark purple. Next video I will be able to unfold it and show you what this actually is, but the process of knitting this shawl has been so nice and so comforting, and I don't know the words I want. I'm moving my fingers and forming stitches, and they're sliding off the needles, and it is going the way it should go, which is a stark contrast to the socks. I went on Thursday up to Acorns and Threads. I have not been up to First Thursday at Acorns and Threads since, I think it was February, when there was that traffic incident up there that terrorized me. And it's not because I didn't want to make the drive, it's because there has been so much going on since February. And to have the timing work out that I have a day to go up there and spend the whole day up there, and it is also coincidentally the first Thursday of the month. It just has not happened, and I haven't had the energy to make it happen. My buddies up at Acorns and Threads, especially Bendy, Stitchy, and Stitchywitch42, saved my peaches. Do you see that jar of peaches? I will insert a picture of what the peaches looked like last time, before I got to Acorns and Threads. Actually, this was while I was at Acorns and Threads, and we were pulling floss, trying to figure out what it might supposed to be instead of leaf green. And Audrey helped me pull a bunch of shades orange, and had Audrey's ideas, had reached a conclusion with Audrey, went over to ask Bendy, Stitchy, Michelle what she thought, because I was going to see if they matched. And she looked at the chart, saw that the green was 772, went, 722 would be such a logical typo to make, went to the DMC, pulled out 722, and I don't have it here with me, but it is this wonderful peachy orange, and was very close to the oranges that Audrey had picked out. Here is the stitched piece, and I really should have held it up with the chart in the first place. That has to be right. I'm sure that is right. If it's not right, it's not green, and it's close enough that nobody is going to walk up to this stitch piece on the wall in my kitchen and tell me it's not right. So I am so grateful to my friends for helping me fix this, because when I saw that green, I don't want to be overly dramatic and say that I was devastated or heartbroken, because those aren't the words for this. I was miffed, bummed, and I did not have, with everything else, I keep saying with everything else going on, there is nothing terrible going on. It's just, it's busy. I have 4 kids. I'm homeschooling 4 kids, and regular life, everything going on without anything being tragic. I did not have the mental energy to figure out where I had gone wrong. And I would have folded it up and put it in the bottom of a sewing basket and left it there forever. Because when you're working with a 30-year-old magazine, there aren't, who knows if there ever were corrections out there. There aren't corrections out there now, except there are for this one because I'm putting it in a blog post. So if somebody is looking up this pattern in this magazine, they'll be able to find it. It is Canner's Kitchen, and it is in Cross Stitch Quick and Easy. The, whatever is this? The October-November 1990 issue. So I will put that correction out there online, and hopefully if anybody else needs it, she will be able to find it. The odds of anyone else needing it, looking online and finding it, are probably pretty slim, but oh well. That's what we do. And I've been reading a lot of cozy mysteries, which are always what I'm reading, but I also wanted to mention Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs, which is the new book by Caitlin Doty. Is that how, I hope that's how she pronounces her last name. Her YouTube channel is Ask a Mortician, and this book is Big Questions from Tiny Mortals About Death. I'm confused about who the target audience for this book is. I would totally hand it over to my kids. Now, my youngest is 13, so my kids are teenagers. I would have handed this over to them a couple of years ago even, because it fits with what they would read. But I liked her first book more. I can't even tell you what was in the first book. This one dwells a lot on what color does your body turn after you die, and if you eat pizza, will your body continue to digest it after you die? And that's not, I'm more interested in the history of funeral customs, or some of the things like that that she covers on her, in her YouTube videos. I enjoy this one. I like her writing, but I like her first 2 books better. The one thing in this that is annoying the heck out of me is one of the questions is, if you live next to an old cemetery, does your water taste funny? And she gives some answers, and she kind of glosses over it a bit, and it doesn't matter unless you live next to a 150-year-old Civil War cemetery. We have a friend who lives next to, I'm going to have to go check dates on tombstones now. It's an old cemetery, and her house is on well water, and I really want to know what's in her well water. I'm also downhill from her, like a couple miles away, so how far does that stuff travel, and what's in my well water? My well went dry, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm sure there's much scarier stuff in the well water. So that is it for what I am working on and what I am reading. I did a video a few days ago where I went through my Paula Vaughn books and did a flip through of the 3 that I own. My head is kind of spinning because I knew that Paula Vaughn had 1.5 million charts out there, but then I went looking and she has so many books that I do not have and that I want. And I'm going to start watching, I was always watching the thrift shops, but I'm going to watch a little more closely. Hopefully, if it's meant to be, I can pick some of them up. If it's not meant to be, I can stitch what I already have. And if I get really obsessed, I can go buy one on eBay. I try not to go buy stuff on eBay because it would be so easy to fall down that rabbit hole and just keep buying and buying and buying. I love the older designers. My taste runs to Paula Vaughn and Marty Bell and Grafts by Barbara and Cheryl. So I think I'm going to, as I'm sorting through and organizing my stash, do some more videos of my favorite designers and what of theirs I have and what I want to stitch, and maybe someone will be interested in watching it, or maybe it'll just be myself getting my own stitching plans in order. Either way is fine. Thanks for watching through this with me. I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I will be back with you with more videos soon. I've got some Halloween tutorials that I really need to get moving and get filmed, and I've got thrifting videos that are already filmed and scheduled, and a stack of books that I'm going to flip through, and of course I'm stitching more, so I'll have more Flosstube to share with you soon.